I've been married to Juliet for 24 years. I've known her for 25 years. I haven't been in love with Juliet for 24 years. I've been committed though. Like, y'all ain't gonna feel me every day of my waking life 24 years in a row. I am in love with my wife. I guarantee you Juliet's gonna let me down. She ain't gonna even try to do it. She gonna do it. Because we're gonna miscommunicate, and I'm gonna have an uncommunicated expectation. I didn't explain my needs like I wanted it right away, and I assumed she was gonna do something and pick up on the way I was feeling. And oh no, child, please, impossible. That's mission impossible. So if that dude is, but tell homie to stick around. Tell homie to stick around, because you don't get to 24 thinking that you're gonna be filled every single day. You get to 24 because you vowed for better or for worse.
I'm gonna pause it right there real quick. So I really want to dissect this, but first and foremost, right? I'm not 24 years in the game. Been with my wife 10 years plus. Been married for 5 years plus, right? I'm gonna tell you like this. From when we started, I was. Let me make sure I'm very clear about this and direct. I was loving the person she was, but as time went on, I fell in love with my wife, right? You don't just meet nobody. I don't believe in love at first sight, but I do believe there's a lot of interest there. There's a lot of things in common, right? There's a lot of connecting emotionally, physically, right? There's a lot of things in that where you really like this person. But as time go on, when I was able to trust her and we started building different bonds and connection, I fell in love with her. Now, once I fell in love with her, at that point I knew, okay, I want this to be my wife, right? And there's other nuances in that, but you get the gist. So, I don't know what he talked about, but I will say this. And when I say that, let me make sure I preface it. Since I fell in love with my wife, I've never had a day where I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I love my wife today. You know what I'm saying? I've never had that day. I've had a day I was frustrated with my wife. I ain't like my wife because she pissed me off about something, right? Or I just didn't like something she did. But there's never been a time where I was like, yeah, man, you know, we've been together about 10 years, married 5 plus. I ain't even want to love my wife today. I've never had that thought. I've never had that thought. And so it's very interesting because I think unless you do something totally disloyal or like utterly egregious to disrespect me, then that might change. But outside of that, I've never had that comment. I've never had that thought to say, yeah, you know what? Sometimes I don't love my wife. I've never had that situation come up. Our bond is too strong. Again, it's a work in progress, right? Marriage is fluid, and so you constantly working at it. But the love for me has always been there. I've just never had a day off with that. You know what I mean? Again, we every marriage have their ups and downs. Trust me, we have our ups and downs. But through it all, I've never been like, yeah, I don't love this woman. You know, it's definitely been like, oh man, can we make it right? Because it get real. But it's never been a time where I was like, yeah, I don't love her. Anyway, let me dive back. Let me play it back one more time, and we're gonna see what else he's talking about. So let me bring it back one more time.
I've been married to Juliet for 24 years. I've known her for 25 years. I haven't been in love with Juliet for 24 years. I've been committed though. Like, y'all ain't gonna feel me every day of my waking life 24 years in a row. I am in love with my wife. I guarantee you Juliet's gonna let me down. She ain't gonna even try to do it. She gonna do it.
Okay, so real quick, excuse me, still a little under the weather. Look, so he said like somebody help me out, right? He says that not every day. I get that, right? You're not gonna be feeling. They're not gonna feel you every day. I don't think it's about that, right? But he said like every day I haven't been in love with her, but then he says I'm in love with my wife. It's kind of sound like a contradiction. And again, I'm not trying to judge you, dude. I'm just saying like, I'm just really trying to hear his response or whatever. So, but I definitely agree with him going into the next segment about the communication piece. Let me run it back slightly really quick so we can get the nuance on that.
I guarantee you Juliet's gonna let me down. She ain't gonna even try to do it. She gonna do it. Because we're gonna miscommunicate, and I'm going to have an uncommunicated expectation. I didn't explain my needs like I wanted it right away, and I assumed she was going to do something and pick up on the way I was feeling. And, oh, no.
But that's part of it, though, right? Even from the jump, when you first with the person and y'all trying to hash it out, y'all trying to figure out, what y'all have in common and stuff like that. Uh, we're two different people, we're two individual people, right? And we come together to build a life together. So there's a lot of like deep rooted things on both ends. And so that only gets unpacked more. And it's probably some stuff people never know about you. But there's stuff that you unpack as the relationship unfolds. And him being 24 years in the game, I'm sure like, me being 10 plus, that stuff that's always going to come up, right? And it comes through miscommunication because we learn new stuff, right? We grow as people. And so different expectations come into play. Like you're not going to have the same needs as when you're 18, when you're 30, right? You're just not. So, right, there's going to be some miscommunication, but yeah, you have to communicate when those things come up. So I feel I'm on that. You know what I mean? So anyway, let's see what's keeping pushing.
Child, please. Impossible. That's mission impossible. So if that dude is, but tell homie to stick around. Tell homie to stick around. Because you don't get to 24 thinking that you're going to be filled every single day. You get to 24 because you vowed for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health until death do us part. That's what you vowed.
Right. I mean, again, I agree with that. However, I think there has to be some intentionality behind it, right? If you're, and I don't know, maybe I need to look at another clip when he means not being filled every day. Every day I get to see my wife, I'm being filled, even if it's for 30 minutes, an hour. Listen, we both work with two professionals, right? She has her own business. I still work. I still work for somebody at the moment, and but as long as I see my wife at the end of the day, man, I'm filled. I don't know what bro talking about. You know what I mean? I don't really. Again, I'm not trying to knock him, but me seeing my wife, or the days we both tired, we like, look, we just want to sit on this couch. We've had a long day. We put in a lot of this work. But me being there next to her is fulfilling for me. I don't feel right if I don't get to see her at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It just don't sit right in me. So, and I would say the same for her. And I can't speak for her, but I'm pretty sure I can speak for her on this one. She loved coming home seeing me too. So, but yeah, are you gonna be fulfilled every day? No. I mean, if depending on his context, right? I don't know if he's talking about rainbows and sunshine, that type of fulfilled, or he talking about something extravagant. I'm not sure. But for me, it's got to be the simple things. And for me, it's the simple things. And sometimes just seeing you at the end of the day, and we get to talk about our day how it was. That's enough for me fulfilling, because I've given so much through the day anyway, and just that little bit is enough to be like, man, I'm so glad I got to talk to you really quick, and I'm glad that I was able to hear you and how your day went. And for me, sometimes that's enough, and I count that as being fulfilled. So, but to run it back all the way to kind of like recap it. Yeah, I don't know, man. I've never not since I fell in love with my wife. I've not these 5+ years. I've not had a day where I was like, yeah, I don't love my wife. You know what I mean? Again, make sure I'm clear. Have I disliked my wife some days? Has she annoyed me? Has she got on my nerves? Have I been like, yo, I'm out of here for a day, or that's how I felt, right? I've never done that, but or she just got on my dang nerve. Right? Those things happen, right? That's normal, and I'm sure the feeling mutual with her some days with me. Trust me. But there's again, it's just never been a day where I was just like, yeah, I'm not in love with my wife. And again, he did come back and say he loves his wife, but I'm in love with my wife. I think that's different, So, but anyway, what y'all think about this review? Shout out to the content creator. Appreciate him, putting this message out there. Drop a comment below. Tell me what y'all think. Do y'all agree with my analysis? Do y'all agree with his analysis? And, subscribe to the Husband Code. If it's your first time watching, subscribe. If you've been watching for a while, subscribe to the Husband Code. Again, we're dropping videos like this every day. And hit a like on the video. Send this information out to send the video out through the algorithm to, YouTube, and get everybody else watching it and talking about it as well. And lastly, hit that notification bell. I drop videos like this every single day. And until next time, I appreciate you guys. Peace.